Hey folks, we're out here in the shop playing with this S10, taking care of some details, minor stuff. One of the issues is the cooling system, the radiator in particular. Got sort of a clearance issue. Let me bring you around, we'll take a look. What we got here is we got the stock radiator without any of the shroud work, which positions the stock radiator. Got it set in there pretty much as far forwards as it can go. And I really would like to have a little more room in here for electric fans because the mechanical fan's not going to fit. But I'd like a little more fan room in there. I need to get a radiator anyhow. This one might be original. Let's get a better one, a good one. Well folks, I'm destroying things here. Trimmed out this little box support here. That'll get her width. I'll just bring that over and weld that in there somewheres. But now I need to take this bottom piece of panel off this upper part of the support. One issue is that bottom piece is this piece, same stamping. But I don't want to cut this piece. So I have cut all the way across there, and then I've been doing take the spot welds out to free this piece. Now I got to get it cut here and across the bottom, and I plan to take this piece, trimming off what I need up here, move it up and weld it back in so this retains the box configuration. That does depend on how the radiator is going to fit, because I need to get it fit in here before I decide where this piece goes. Because, the whole idea is make the radiator fit. Otherwise, we'll think of something else to do to help support this piece. But, yeah, getting this piece out. Got a little cutting on each end, and maybe it's free. Except for all them spot welds I didn't find. We'll find them later. Well, we've been trimming. I trimmed this piece out of the bottom at the upper portion of the radiator support, and there's not going to be any room for that anywhere. And over here I got that, one-handed here. Got this brace cut in half and trimmed loose, and it will end up getting put back in, kind of overlap, kind of narrower. That will have. And this is kind of where the pins on the bottom of that radiator are going to sit, and it's going to be mighty snug, mighty snug. And in order to get this top piece that was here cut loose, it's actually this stamping, so I cut this whole thing loose, and I'm going to have to do a little fixing there. So that's what's up next, is we're going to join this piece to that piece, and happy matrimony, metallurgy. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. Well folks, it kind of fits in there. I'm going to get my stuff welded back in and get some mounts figured out for it, but fits in. There's plenty of room on the front side. Change the belt without a problem. It fills that radiator opening up just fine. A lot of welding to do here yet. But hey, it worked, I guess. Gonna have to do something on that radiator cap over there. Now I got a plan for it. Let's see if I can get the pieces to make that happen. Well, I think we got it. Seems pretty solid in there, tucked under nice. Over on the other side, you're going to notice something here, other than the 2x6, is that radiator cap. But the thing is, that's no longer a radiator cap. They make a radiator cap that has absolutely no guts under it. This is what you're used to, spring, seal. They make one that just has this outer seal, and that's it. And that will seal off the fill portion, but it will leave this nipple open to the radiator. I think that's where I'm going to put my steam bleeds off this 5.3. Just going to hook right there. Right size and everything. Yep, time to figure hoses out and wiring. Let me show you the final rendition on this cooling system here. Got the eBay 96 LS swap radiator. It's recessed into the radiator support. This is where the air conditioning condenser would have sat. I had to narrow up this support here and take out the bottom part of this top panel. It's got studs on the bottom of this radiator. Got some bushings, which are actually cut down bushings for a 2002 Silverado for the upper mounts. Cut down, they fit on the bottom pins. Made holes, sets in there nice. I used the bottom of the fan shroud, the original 4.3 fan shroud. Trimmed it up, flipped it over. It's got the rubber bushings in there. It's crammed in there. It should be pretty solid in there. Of course, we got the Silverado upper hose that's been modified to fit. Let's go over to the other side. Oh, it sits up front and center right there. Now over here, that cap's not serviceable. You got to take things loose to even get to that. So that's not actually a cap. That is just a blank. So all it does is it seals the top of that radiator, which means this port is open. That's what I hooked my steam vent to, and the bleed back to the pressure tank from the Silverado. Down here, I can't remember. I think that's the Silverado lower hose cut down. And then to make it fill like it's supposed to, like it was designed by GM, found a 90-degree 1-inch hose. Heater hoses are just your average 90-degree jobs from the parts store. And the hardware store supplied copper fittings that I made this T out of, so that it's plumbed the way GM designed it. I kind of think they had an idea there. I'm sure they had some reason. Had to fabricate up a T with 1/2 inch on one side, 5/16 on the other two. Did a little copper tube, a little soldering. There we are. Got dual fans, controlled separate fuses. The ECM should be able to control 2 different fans when that gets programmed. Got the relays stuck underneath the reservoir tank. Got the fuses up here and handy. I do have a fail-safe bypass where I can just kick the fans on. Just because things break, it's a 3-rack for the relays. I've got my 3rd one down there. I'm not using it. One of them fails, I move over to that one. But yeah, I think it come out pretty clean. It does have a heater yet. But that is the final rendition of the cooling system. And I run it last night. Got it up to 220 without the fans on. Kicked the fans on, brought it down to about 180 pretty dang quick. So I think they're sufficient. But anyhow, that is what we're ending up with for the S10. Of course, the truth will be told when it gets running down the road. Hey guys, yeah, throw a like and a comment on there if you would. Really, the comment's important. I really want to know what people are thinking. Whether I change my mind, I don't know, but some people have better ideas than I do. Lots of people do. Hey, have a good day. Thanks for watching.